All right, y'all. So, here on the channel, I've been talking about food shortages for quite some time now. I've told you all and shared with you all that all signs, based on my research, reports that are out there, all signs are pointing to the fact that just next week, right? Next week is 2023. Next year, food shortages, we may see more of them. Not only food shortages, but also higher food prices. Okay, so I want to come on and I want to give you an update. I was reading an article on CNBC, and I said, well, this is definitely something that I want to share with you all. And the title of the article says, "Here's why egg prices." Okay, we've talked about the price of eggs here on the channel before. The article says, "Here's why egg prices surged in 2022. Those elevated costs could last into the first quarter." Okay, the first quarter of 2023, experts say. Okay, so please, if you find this information to be helpful, please make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your family members, friends, loved ones. Okay. All right. So according to CNBC, the surge in egg prices has stood out in a year when Americans like you and I, or if you're watching internationally, shout out to you, maybe even in your own country, right? When Americans saw their bills balloon across the grocery store. Okay, again, I'm reading an article from CNBC. The article says average egg prices jumped. Listen to this, y'all. Go ahead and take a minute. Before I tell you the percentage, go ahead and guess. Do you think it's 10%, 15%, 5%? Way off, y'all. Average egg prices, okay, jumped 49.1%. That's almost 50%, y'all. In November, okay, compared with those a year earlier, the largest annual percentage increase among all grocery items in that period, okay? Did y'all hear what I just said? In November, okay, in 1 month, it jumped 49.1%. Now, why do you think that's the cause? Okay, some people may say, well, in November, you have Thanksgiving, and for people that bake and cook with eggs like I do, and maybe also like you, they know that people are going to be going out buying eggs, so why not mark up the price, right? But stick around because there's a little bit more information I want to add to that according to this article. Okay, so eggs, y'all. Eggs jumped 49.1% in November compared with those a year earlier. Okay, the largest annual percentage increase among all the grocery items. Let me say it again, y'all. Among all the grocery items, okay, in that period, according to the Consumer Price Index, or the CPI, which is a barometer of inflation. Okay, it measures the inflation. Now, by comparison, the article says the overreaching food at home, it says in quotation marks, category was up 12%. Now, the article goes on to say that the increase is even more acute, okay, when measured by the cost of a dozen large grade A eggs, which more than doubled to $3.59 in November from $1.72, y'all, the year earlier month. Okay, that's according to data from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. Okay, how do y'all feel about this? Now, they also give a chart. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can I'm gonna flip the camera around just so you can see. Hold on, y'all. All right, so here is the chart that they're showing. So as you can see, it says these are some of the core categories plus other items with notable year-over-year price changes. Okay, so you can see right here at the top, we have eggs, 49.1%, followed by airfare, butter and margarine, public transportation, lettuce, okay, cereals and bakery products, pet food, utility, it says pipe gas service, milk, stationery supplies and gift wrap, electricity, health insurance, poultry, energy, food at home. Let me keep going. Okay, household cleaning products. It goes on and on. What I'll do is I'll link this article in the excuse me, in the community tab so that you all can see it in more detail. But y'all, that's a large increase, right? It's something very wrong about that. Okay, now listen, this is what the article is saying is largely to blame for the rising egg prices. Now, you all let me know if you agree or disagree about this, okay? For those of you all who love to contribute and comment. Please let me know your thoughts about this, okay? Now, the price dynamics, according to CNBC, are primarily due to the deadliest outbreak of bird flu, y'all. Bird flu in U.S. history, which has caused millions of egg-laying hens to lose their life, the article says, according to economists. Okay, here's a quote by Bill Lapp, who is the president of Advanced Economic Solutions, who had this to say, and I quote, "A lot of things are up since 2020, okay? But," he says, "the recent spike in extraordinary," here, let me fix the quote, okay? So here's a quote by Bill Lapp, president of Advanced Economic Solutions, who had this to say, and I quote, "A lot of things are up since 2020. Bill Lapp, president of Advanced Economic Solutions." I said that already, right? I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, which is a consulting firm specializing in food economics, previously told CNBC. He was also quoted as saying, "But the recent spike is extraordinary in the shell egg as well as egg product markets." Okay. The article says about 57.8 million birds have been affected by avian flu in 2022. That's AVIAN flu, if you want to research that. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture data as of December 28th, these figures include birds such as turkeys and ducks. Okay. Bird flu, the article says, is relatively rare in the U.S. The last was about in 2015 when 50.5 million birds, okay, the article says the previous record was affected, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. All right, the flu hadn't emerged in at least a decade or two prior to that, according to Lapp. Okay, here's why this matters, the article says. Avian flu, AVIAN flu, is, and I quote, "highly contagious." The New Jersey Department of Agriculture said in October it's also extremely lethal. Okay. It says it causes the end of life. Y'all know what word I'm trying to avoid saying, right? It causes the end of life for 90 to 100% of chickens, often within 48 hours, according to the CDC. Now, farmers, the article says, generally must end the life of the remaining birds, not by choice, but due to federal rules meant to prevent spread. Okay. And the article goes on to say that about 40 million egg-laying hens, or layers in quotation marks in industry shorthand, have lost their life this year due to avian flu. There were 375 million total layers in the U.S. as of December 1st, which is down 5% from last year, okay, according to the USDA. Egg quantity, the article says, has declined in lockstep. About 8.9 billion eggs were produced in November, down from 9.7 billion in December 2021, according to USDA data issued December 20th. So quite naturally right there, going forward, we very well may see a shortage in eggs because the production is down from the previous year. Okay. Let's see. They're calling the supply disruption unprecedented. Here's a quote where it says it's kind of happenstance that inflation is going on more broadly during the same period. And the article also says that price pressures may be easing. Okay, bird flu, the article says, typically arrives during the spring migration and disappears by the summer, experts say. But this year was different. Why was it different? I'm asking. It says the virus reemerged in September. Okay, why do you think it was different this year? Okay, now some people will say, okay, Andrea, yeah, it may have been the bird flu. But some people say, hey, this may have been planned. It's all a part of control. You let me know your thoughts, okay? In October, the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture, revised its production forecast for table eggs downward for 2023 and the remainder of 2022 following, and I quote, September detections of bird flu, okay? The avian flu flare-up, the article says, and its associated loss of life toll for egg-laying hens is running headlong into peak demand. Consumers generally buy more eggs now for holiday baking. Didn't I say that earlier, y'all? For example, okay, experts say we don't need experts to tell us that. We already know that, right? The article concludes by saying that consumer demand for eggs has also been buoyed by a pivot away from some higher cost proteins amid broader food inflation, the USDA suggested in an October Outlook report. Okay. Egg prices jumped 2.3% just in the month of November and by 10.1% in October, according to the CPI. Okay. Y'all, I thought this was the end of the article. It still keeps going. Okay. So what I'll do is I'm going to pin the article so you can read more about it. They also say, let's see, I thought this was the end, but it keeps going. Says, meanwhile, chicken prices have been falling. Now, have you all seen that? I haven't seen that in my area. I'll check again when I'm at the store. But they say that chicken prices have been falling. Okay. The article says, perhaps counterintuitively, chicken prices have been declining in recent months, moving opposite those of eggs. Okay. Chicken prices retreated in October and November, falling by 1.3%, very small percent, right? And 0.8%, respectively, according to CPI data. Now, those low percentages, y'all, do we really notice a difference there? Chickens raised for meat consumption, the article says, known as broilers, aren't affected by avian flu to the same extent as the layers. Okay, here's a quote. It's two totally different styles of production, two totally different breeds of bird. Okay. Let's see. It says broiler quantity is also up, contributing to lower chicken prices at the grocery store. And that's pretty much it. I'll post a link to this article so you can read more in depth. Again, y'all, expect more food shortages in 2023. Expect possibly egg shortages as well as higher egg prices. Okay. You all please share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know how you feel about this news. This news has even led to some people wanting to raise their own chickens at home. Of course, if you're going to do that, please do your research. Find out what the local laws are in your area. There are very specific things you need to know related to raising chickens. I remember growing up, my family, we raised chickens. So I thought about all of that. I don't do that currently because of, currently where I am. And it takes a lot of time. It's a lot raising chickens. So if you're someone who you raise your own chickens, please comment, share your thoughts. Let us know about your experience. Okay. Y'all take care. I'll bring you more updates on the food shortages. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That way you can join our community, stay connected, and stay informed. All right. Talk to y'all soon.